Who the heck are you?
I have no idea.
Introduce yourself,
Right,
buddy.
I'm Steve Martin. I run the Naval Christian Fellowship. Did 28 years in the Navy. Royal Navy, left as a warrant officer 4 years ago. Last ship was HMS Chatham, and I was a weapons engineer, and now I head up the Naval Christian Fellowship.
You're not a real sailor though, because you were just a skimmer, weren't you? A target, really.
Well, yeah, but that's all completely a matter of opinion. They're welcome to go under the sea and do whatever they do. I have no idea, and they're welcome to it.
Steve, how many people in the NCF?
Serving members, we've got about 280 serving guys who are away, and girls, of course, who are away at sea, and we've got about 700 retired folk on our lists as well. So,
give me a typical day for you.
a typical day for me is what, in the office or from when I wake up and clean my teeth?
In the office.
Oh, right, okay. Most of it's spent on the computer, emailing folk, talking to people about what they're doing, what they're up to, supporting them, encouraging them, liaising with our people around the country, talking with chaplains, arranging hospitality for people around the world, preparing Bible studies, fellowship lunches, preparing for house parties and weekends that we have. Basically just being around, resourcing, providing support for Christians in the Navy in their life, work and witness. We work with Alpha for forces. We work with chaplains, with Royal Sailors' Rest support work, pastoral workers, anybody really.
Tell me about Sorted Magazine. What kind of usefulness is that to you?
None whatsoever. It's a load of rubbish. Don't edit that out. Pass it to Steve.
You want Steve to see that?
I want Steve to see that. Brilliant. We send it out en masse to the fleet. Steve sends me 400 copies of it. It goes out via the church officer, via the internal mail, so it don't cost us anything. To every church officer and chaplain in the fleet, they all get 7 or 8 copies depending on what ship they're on, and they then distribute them around the mess decks. So every mess deck in the fleet has a copy of Sorted lying around in it. Even the girls' mess, because they like it. But we're chuffed to bits now that we've got Liberty, because Liberty goes down a girls' mess. But what's good about it is Steve is a bit like Carl Beach, really. They're both closet flipping matlows. They both want to be in the army or the Navy. I think Carl better for the army because he shouts. Steve would be better in the Navy because he sleeps a lot. So between the two of them, and Alex Wilmot will be in the RAF for reasons that we won't talk about. But anyway, but they're so supportive of what we do. And every time there's an interview with a serviceman or something to do with the armed forces, and that always touches a nerve. But what's good about it is it's actually accessible. You can dump it down a mess deck and people will read it. I mean, they'll read anything down the mess deck. I mean, I remember being on one deployment and we had Shed Monthly come down or something, and we used to read that, and when all else has failed, so Sorted's got to be better than that. Well, maybe.
What's your top need at the moment as a ministry?
Our top need as a ministry would have to be discipleship, learning how we can, or adapting ourselves better to be able to disciple people at a distance.
What do you mean by that? Adapting the distance,
ourselves. I mean, because
discipleship?
guys, if you think about a guy who goes off to sea on his own as a Christian, young Christian, 18-year-old, he joins a ship, he's just become a Christian in a home church which is vibrant, which is flowing, which is full of life, and then he joins a ship and he clears off for 6 months. Only professing Christian on board that ship, doesn't know his Bible, hasn't got a Scooby what's going on, living on a mess deck where the front room consists of a bar and a telly that shows porn, and all his mates want to do is get completely hammered when they get alongside and find the nearest prostitute and do things to her that sailors do whilst drunk. So trying to live a Christian lifestyle in that in that environment. You're giggling, you remember that, don't you?
I've been there, done
you've
that.
Been there, done that. Yeah, I don't want to know. But trying for them to live a Christian lifestyle in that is a challenge. So we're looking at how best can we disciple them.
I just need to break into this a second. Hang on. When I say been there, done that, what I mean is I've been the new Christian on board a submarine by myself, not all the bad stuff. Okay, right, back here. Just got to make that clear.
He lie like hairy egg. So yeah, that's what it's about really. And I say discipleship is how can we support them, how can we better encourage them, what can we do to because the only bloke who can support and encourage a Christian in the Navy is another Christian who understands what they're going through and has been there, done it, got a t-shirt.
Do modern people in the Navy, and by the way, I'm just so shocked at what I've seen today, but I'll write that in the blog. Do modern people in the Navy want anything to do with Jesus?
Yes. I don't want anything to do with the church, but once they see that they're...
Hang on a minute, why don't they want anything to do with the church?
Because they see it as outdated and nothing relevant. The church, the established church, they see it as a bunch of paedophiles and people who lie, who are hypocritical. But when you introduce them to the person of Jesus and they see Jesus as being someone who actually you're following and you stand out from the crowd if you're in a mess deck and you're trying to follow Jesus. Yeah, you fall off your perch, of course you do. You go ashore and have a few too many beers, but that's part of life. But when they see that you are serious about your faith, when they see a young man who's actually, no, I'm not going to go ashore and get hammered, I'm not going to go down a brothel, I'm not going to be going with any woman I can. Some of them join this ship as a married man and take their rings off when they deploy for 6 months and pretend they're single. It's that sort of environment. And when they see a Christian who's serious about their faith, and they can introduce them to the person of Jesus, then yeah, they want to know. They ask questions, they want to know.
Thanks, Steve. Mate, thanks ever so much indeed. God bless you at the Naval Christian Fellowship. I think you're wonderful.
So do we.
Take care, buddy. Thanks.